following video is guaranteed to be terrible.
Hello there, how are you? Hope you're well. I wanted to talk about this. Is this the Sony FDR-AX33 Handycam. It's a 4K camera. It's a chunky little bugger and I absolutely adore it. It is 20 megapixel for stills. It has 15 times zoom on 4K and 20 times zoom on standard HD. It's got a 29.8mm wide angle lens installed. It can record up to 120 frames per second high speed, so super slow-mo, and it has a little manual ring at the front for adjusting pretty much whatever you want that ring to adjust, which is absolutely fantastic. I'm not going to do an unboxing because I've already been using this. I've been filming in Monaco, I've been filming in Berlin. Those videos are in my vlogs, so if you go and look at the vlogs according to Fluctibus over on my other channel, you'll see me using this camera. But I have had it a while, and this video is a little late in getting to you. Sorry about that, but I want to show you the box. I might as well show you what's in the box. You've got inside here a manual, no surprise there, power cable, USB, and a little USB extender. I'm not a techie person, so by all means feel free to completely stop watching this video. This video is designed to tell you how this camera operates in the field, and also show you all the little features and all the little nuggets and little drawers and cupboards and bullshit fittings it's got. As soon as I got the camera, I held it for vlogging, and it's actually quite a chunky. So sorry, I should introduce you to the camera. Ooh, here it is. I mounted on a little tripod for you. This is what you get. And as soon as I got it, the first thing I realized was it's actually quite a heavy thing, you know. And if you're vlogging with like that, if you're like me, which is like not strong, then having something like that for a prolonged amount of time on your arm can be a little bit painful. But then again, lots of people just say, well, don't talk to the camera so long, and I can't. When I do my hotel room tours, which I love doing, and I know you love watching them, I like to have the camera on, and I'll do the editing later, so I'll just do one big long take. So here's the camera here. As you can see, I'm putting on this little tripod, and I have shot some video of me actually looking around the camera. I shot it against a nice white background, so it's nice clear to see. But I'll just give you a quick tour here. You've got the massive front lens. Let's see what it says here. It's a 1.8 / 3.8 to 38 lens, which I guess is the f-stop, which is kind of like pretty amazing. 1.8 is a lot of light getting in there. I think it's a 1/2-inch sensor, which is like pretty big, is it not? So as soon as I bought this camera, I kind of knew straight away that I wanted, you know, holding it at this sort of distance, I knew that I needed a wider angle on there. It does actually have a pretty wide angle on it already. So I did a bit of Googling. This is a 52mm thread inside this ring here. So I did a bit of Googling, and I got this, which is a Raynox 0.7x wide angle conversion lens, high definition. It's a HD lens, which I'm not really sure what that means, but I guess it's something to do with the cut of the glass. I don't know even if I believe it. This also, when you open it, I'll just open the box here. It comes in, when you get it, oh look, it says DCR. See that? It says DCR-732 if you want to Google around for that. I think it wasn't very expensive. It might have been over 100 though. In here you get a little plastic box, and you have all your little phone compartments. It's obviously not very professional. You've got the cap there to put on the screw, but you also get this little bag here, which has in it conversion, very plasticky, very cheap conversion rings. So this will make the lens also, hold on, not quite sure how you use these, but they are for, let's see, that's a 52 to 43mm, that's a 52 to 46mm, and that's a 52 to 37mm conversion rings. This is the lens itself, which I've just put the back on it, so when you get it, it looks like that. It's very small really. You take the back off, which has the thread on. You can just thread it onto your camera nice and easy. It doesn't usually cause any problems whatsoever. To be honest, I don't really take it off once this is on, so I just kind of leave it there, and then I've got your lens cap, which you can take off. I've noticed the quality's been pretty good. I did earlier on today, I did a little test with it so I could demonstrate how the wide angle differs how it differs picture shot size wise when you've got no lens on to when you've got it with the lens on. I've also included in the video a little bit of edge there so that you can see the bowing. You slightly get slight bowing at the edges with the wide angle, but you'd kind of expect that. Any more than that, it'd be a bit too much of a fisheye for me. So I'm quite happy with that little bit of bowing there. I also wanted to demonstrate what it's like when you're vlogging, so I held it first without the lens on there. And then I wanted to demonstrate what vlogging would look like with the lens there. And I think you'll agree it looks a whole ton better with the wide angle lens on. So I think the wide angle is definitely something investing in. Other mods I got is this here. I already had this. This is a Raidcall. It's basically a T-bar. It's got the attachment at the bottom so you can put it onto the shoe. The top of the camera does have a shoe under here. I can just flip this open. This is a very plasticky little lid. You can then pop that on there, and then you have a shoe. I put it like that so I can put maybe something like a little light, and that would just sit there. And also, I can't demonstrate. Well, I can show you. I've got two radio mics, so I'd also put like the radio mic receiving pack that can also be fitted to the back quite neatly, quite nicely. And that will sort of sit there just perfectly. Then the cable can come around and be plugged into the side of the camera. The camera does have a microphone input. You have to go into the settings to set that. It will record it just on one track. I think it only puts it on one track. I can't remember if you're able to mono the track so it goes across both tracks. You might be able to do that. I can't remember. The thing I did notice about it was that it is pretty sensitive with radio mics like these, because obviously these are, you have to really get the balance with radio mics between the level on the radio mic, the level the radio mic's sending out, to the level the transmitter sending to the receiver, and then the receiver sending to the camera. You have to get that right, and then you really need to go into the settings to set the level, and you actually have to bring it right down. If you don't set the level manually, then you'll get a lot of distortion. It sounds really horrible. And if you don't plug anything into there, it will listen to this microphone on the top here anyway. And I think that's also a menu setting thing. So setting up the audio does work. It's pretty good. I've used it. I've filmed in Monaco with radio mics going into this. The only thing I'd say is you can't monitor this audio. Well, you can actually, but there's a big delay. Well, big delay being like a fraction of a second. To me, that's big enough. So you can check it to make sure it's not distorting, but it's not by any means professional quality at all. Well, no review is complete without a tour of what functions this camera have. So earlier on, I got a nice little white background. I took the camera and I had a little look at it. As you can see, it's it's like any other Sony Handycam. It's quite heavy. It's also it's not massive, is it? It's quite chunky, I guess you could say. It is to carry. I mean, it has got weight. There's no disguising the fact that it has weight. But let's just take a quick look on the outside of it first. Let's start here at the side. So you've got the standard Sony Handycam strap, which is adjustable with some Velcro there. You sort of adjust the size of that strap to fit either fat, shaking hands like mine, or your skinny hands, whatever you want to do. One of the neat features is it has the little USB slip down there, so you don't have to take the card out of the camera. You can just pop the USB into your computer, and you've automatically got what you need. Around the back here, you have the record button. You have the little switch plate there for your DC in. You have the battery compartment there. You have the eyepiece which extends out like that, and it goes. Oh, does it go up? Yes, it goes up. There it goes. Look, it's gone up, and I think you can adjust on a little dial at the side here. You can adjust the focus of the eyepiece so that it's absolutely right. I've got to say I never use the eyepiece. Round to this side, and you have the monitor. The monitor pops out. It's quite a large monitor, as you can see. I've not got the battery in, but as soon as you pop the monitor out, it does automatically switch the entire camera on. But if you decide you don't want to waste battery life because you've got things you want to do here, and to be honest, there's not much you can do here, there is an on-off switch just there should you choose to use it. Popping over that little, popping open, I should say, that little door there, you have the HDMI out connector, and just above that you have another little door. It's a bit like an advent calendar, this, and inside there you have the SD card. Now, one thing you have to be very careful of with this is that you get the correct card. I am using, this is a Transcend card. It's probably not the best card in the universe, but it is a SDXC1. It's a class 3, 60 megabit, 128 gigabyte card. I do recommend getting the larger size of card because if you are recording 4K, you are going to use a lot of data, and it needs to be recorded super fast. I mean, 60p is a pretty fast way of recording. If you put a card like this one, which is just the standard Extreme Plus, there's a SanDisk 32 gigabyte, 80 megabytes per second card in, you will get a message on the screen when you're trying to record 4K to say 4K. It will say, sorry, can't do it. However, if you put this card in the camera and set the camera to normal HD, it should work absolutely fine. So let's continue on around the camera. In fact, I'll just move that out of the way. Let's continue on around the camera. I haven't quite finished on here. So you've got like this little play button there. That play button will bring up all the clips on the screen so you can see what it is you've recorded. Below that, you've got the night shot button. You've got the power on and off, as I said. And then up here, you've got, this is an interesting button, which I haven't really used, but it appears to be giving you the capability of recording some sort of voiceover. I'd be very interested to finding out what that is. What I recommend you do is go and download the PDF manual for this. Do a search for this camera PDF manual and find out exactly what that is, because I don't actually use it. Sorry. Closing the door now. There's what it looks like. You can see all the information there. It says XAVCS, Wi-Fi FDR-AX33. The Wi-Fi is cool. You can actually control this camera from your iPhone. I don't know if you can do it with an Android phone. I'm sure you can. You can definitely do it from the iPhone, and I do. When you are using it as a stills camera, you press you can switch it between video and stills by clicking that button there, and then if you press this button, it will take a photo for you. You can actually, while you're video recording, also press that button. It'll take a quick snapshot of what it is you're doing, and it is a 20.6 megapixel still image, which is pretty phenomenal. It says down here at the side, it says balanced optical steady shot, and it will demonstrate that in a minute when we come around to the front end of the camera. I have to try and keep this in focus. Continuing on along here, then we have this button here, which is a manual button, which relates to this ring, which you can rotate here. Now, this ring will pretty much take on whatever capability you choose in the menu system to set that button to. The lens is a Zeiss lens. Let me just pop, this seems like a good time as any to pop the battery in. Here is the battery. It is a Sony NP-FV70 battery. I've put a piece of tape around it because I have many batteries and I like to be in control of which ones have charge and which ones don't have charge. I've bought the larger version of the battery. I might have a small one here. So there's the smaller version. This battery adds quite a lot of weight. It's detachable by flicking this little switch at the bottom there. And you can pop the battery in. Oops. And that gives it a much more profile look. Keeps it a bit more compact, keeps it a lot lighter. Battery length is excellent. It will last you for a long time. I think I've just come off doing a couple of corporates, and I don't think I even changed the battery during the day. I might have changed it once. It certainly ran for a good 2 hours. You can see that it's got like the metal aluminium thread for tripod, and it's got that obligatory little hole there to stop it spinning on the spot if you've got that type of tripod to cope with that. Sorry, I skipped that entirely. You have a little flappy door there with the red hole being the mic in, and the green hole being headphones out, and there's another little HDMI. Is that HDMI? Oh, that's a multi. You know what? I don't even know what that's for. It's probably video, isn't it? I do use the mic socket. I do not trust auto on any sort of audio, so I will plug a radio mic, something maybe similar to this. I'll plug my radio mic into that socket there. I have a shoe at the top. Haven't even got to the top yet, where I can put my radio mic kit, and I can plug all that in like that. The thing is that if you do plug headphones into the headphone socket there, you will find there is a delay. It's quite hard to monitor what you're recording.
If you do use this, make sure you set the output from the radio pack as being quite low. You don't need to send a lot of level out. And also go into the settings of the camera and really knock that back, because it will, oh lordy, does it distort. Let's look at this lens now. As I move the camera, you can see the lens is kind of compensating for the movement. It's kind of doing what chickens do if you hold them. They'll keep their head in exactly the same spot. This is kind of powered. It's almost like a little gimbal like you see on drones. It gives the camera some incredible, it really does give it some incredible stability. It looks really smooth when you film with it. You can do all sorts of zoom in, and look at that, I'm doing like a rotation, the lens is pretty much staying where it is. So if you've got like shaky hands like I do, especially after lots of coffee, that lens is kind of like a real godsend. It's absolutely fantastic. Going around to this side of the camera now. Oh, I've done this side. I've done the whole camera. Let's just do the top then. You've got a stereo microphone at the top. You've got the shoe here for fitting your whatever it is you want to fit on the top. Okay then, so opening the lens and having a look at the menus that you get in here. First of all, to say that you can see the camera is picking up my voice. I'm not actually recording anything, but down the bottom you can see that these two stereo microphones at the top here are clearly indicating down here that it is receiving the audio and everything's good to go. You have down the side here W and a T, that's wide and T. I don't know what the T stands for, and the red is also the record button. If I just click on the menu button at the top bit here, this is kind of like the main sort of menu that you get. I don't like it very much because I'm never quite sure the difference between camera, mic, image quality. That's all part of setup, so I don't really know what that means. You do have a shooting mode here, and you can sort of choose between movie, photo. I don't know. It's showing you. It's got down the bottom there. Golf shot, slow mo, high speed recording. Which will be super slow-mo, I wouldn't wonder. I haven't used those facilities yet. I must mess around with them. But I'm going to be shooting movies, so I'll click that. As you can see, I had 100... I don't know if you saw that there. I'll just bring it up again and then go back. It says there 5 hours and 27 minutes. That is if I shoot standard HD 50p on a 128 gigabyte card. I'll just show you that again by going back to it. Top corner, 5 hours, 27 minutes, HD 50p. So that's pretty good on that type of card. It doesn't tell you how long a battery you've got left, but you know, I can live without that. The bar going down is enough for me. Let's go back into the menu. Let's go into camera mic. What you do is you have the settings here. It's a bit cumbersome. This is a little bit frustrating. You can go down. I won't go through every setting, but you can sort of choose, you know, what sort of white balance you want to do. Do you want it to be outside sunlight, inside tungsten? You can sort of set it there. It's kind of like very user friendly, very numpty friendly. You can scroll all the way down. You can set all your focus and your iris to auto or manual. You've got something called low lux, which I haven't used yet. You've got like, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what these are. Oh, you've got like some sort of picture profiles there, cinematone. I don't use any of that. Steady shot, set it to standard. I don't want it to be too powerful, too noticeable. The digital zoom, look at that. I've got it set at 120 times power digital zoom. I don't even know it did it that high. The zoom is incredible. And even if it's digital, you don't really, you know, it gets a little bit pixelated, but so what? You are zooming in so far, it's just incredible. Night shot light, I'm not sure what the light is. I haven't seen that, never used it. But, I mean, there's lots of stuff here for you to play around with. It's got a flash, voice cancelling. Ooh, that seems to be what that button was there at the side. You remember me mentioning that? Voice cancelling seems to be off. Not quite sure what that's all about. I guess it makes sure it doesn't pick up people operating the camera. It's got a built-in mic. Zoom, I don't know. I mean, good luck with all that. I've never used them, and I will use them, I'm sure. But you can have fun with that. This is, I say, just going to be a skim through. This is going to be the interesting part. I'll spend a little bit of time here. So you can set the, close that. You can set the frame rate there to be 50p or 25p. You've got a choice of the file format. You've got, there's your 4K option there. You select that. And then it tells you down the bottom, XAVC S format for 4K quality, archiving and viewing for a 4K TV. You can also set it to just standard AVC HD, when set to HD 25p, images can't be recorded. Let's go OK, and let's see what happens there. Okay, and look, it's gone up to 12 hours on that card. So that's obviously much lesser quality. You've got wireless capability here. You can connect it up to your smartphone. I think it will work with Android actually. I've done that. It's very, very good. The latency is very, very good. It's got a playback function where it will play back all your clips. I've got none. You can edit your clips. I don't have any. And set up here, you've got your format, your file numbering, and all your sort of details that you want. I'll just show you how long it takes to format a 128 card. It kind of does an odd countdown, which isn't really realistic because it does it a lot quicker than what it says. See it jumping about from. Maybe it does take. I don't know. It's suddenly like time just flies by. So it's not really a very accurate clock, but that's how long it takes. That can seem like a lifetime if you're in an emergency situation. So there you go. That's a pretty rough guide to the menu, but pretty much as you'll need, I think, at this stage. I'm sure you'll find videos online which are much more detailed. Let's take a look then at what this manual button here is all about. So if I turn the lens around, the monitor around so we can see it, you can see my artwork in the background there. This manual button, if I press the manual button and turn the ring, you can see that I can then choose from the menu what I want that ring to equal. If I want it to be focused, I'd choose that. And then this ring will do the focus for me. That's pretty much what it does. It's pretty cool. I like it. I have to get your finger on, I think. Do you? I don't know. I can't really get my head around how to use it. There you go. And it pops up, and I can change it to exposure, say. If I can do that, change it to exposure, press select. And then I can brighten the shot or darken the shot. So you can kind of change what that ring does, which I think is a really nice feature. So there you have the 4K camera.
Okay, that is the FDR-AX33 Sony Handycam 4K camera. I don't know if it's for you. It certainly is for me. It retails around about $1,000 or £700 in proper money. It's something I love having. I can't really afford to buy stuff like this right now, but I'm going to keep it because it is so good. I'm kind of like cringing at the fact that this video is being recorded on a Canon 60D, and I can't wait to get rid of that now and start filming on this. I won't have that nice critical depth of field. It won't be as smooth and filmy looking, but it will be like super HD, and it's just a lot more convenient to record on this. I'll put something down in the description about the wide angle lens that I've used. You can also get me on Twitter if you've got any questions there. I'm at fluctibusfludd, always happy to chat. If you want to, you can subscribe to this channel. You don't have to. I have 2 other channels. I've got the vlogs of me, Fluctibusfludd, which you can go and view, where I basically travel around the place filming stuff. It's behind the scenes kind of stuff, or it's just like me going on holiday or messing about. I also have a gaming channel which hasn't really kicked off yet because you're not allowed to really put. I don't really know what you are and aren't allowed to put on the internet gaming wise, so I haven't really paid any attention to that yet. But I certainly plan to when Zelda comes out. Thanks again for watching. Take care and goodbye.